Today, I will be talking about adoption, but not in the way you would expect. You see, when a child is placed into a home, they are provided with an abundance of support for whatever they need. When a parent or parents receive a child, they are provided with an abundance of resources to make sure they fit the quote-unquote best parents possible. But when a biological child receives a new sibling, where's their support? You see, I'm one of those biological children who have not one, but two adopted siblings. In 2020, I met my brother, and everything was great until it wasn't. At first, it was on and off drop-offs at the home he was staying at. Day visits turned into sleepovers, which turned into him spending Thanksgiving with us, then to him finally moving in. Everything happened so fast. 2 years later, my sister was born, and she moved in with us. But that's another story for another time. Today, we are going to focus on my brother and me. He had a lot of therapy sessions and people taking him places. The police even took him shopping at Walmart. My parents were loaded with foster parent meetings and therapy sessions too. So there I was, all alone, fighting a battle alone. They always say it takes a village to raise a child, but my village left me after 2020. Then something happened, something I knew was going to happen, but thought I could prevent. Parents, you know that feeling when your child calls you mom or dad for the first time? How happy you are? Well, turn that happiness into sadness, then multiply it by 1,000, because that's how I felt. Nobody prepares you for when a child you barely know calls your parents mom or dad. Now, don't get me wrong. I knew what I was doing was not right, but that didn't stop me. Before we got into the whole mom and dad stuff, he called my mom, Mama Cheryl, and my dad, Daddy Reggie. So whenever he would say mom or dad, I would pretend like I couldn't hear him, so he would have to say Mama Cheryl or Daddy Reggie. Smart, right? Well, that's what I thought, but it didn't work. Nothing worked. Every family member took his side, and I kind of just became invisible. Oh, you are such great parents for doing this, and Hope, I bet you're being the best big sister ever. That's all they would say. How about, how are you doing with this change? If you ever need someone to talk to, I'm here to listen. Key word was listen. That's all I ever wanted, was somebody who would sit down and listen to my side of the story. And I have nothing to say, but yes, I hear you. 1 year later came adoption day. That's right, I said the A word, adoption. That day was the longest day of my life. At the time, my brother was 8 and I was 10, so the tension in the courtroom was high. Everybody brought him gifts, but didn't bring me a single one. I've never cried so much. While others were crying because of happiness, I was crying because I knew my life would never be the same. And it's not, but that's okay. Now, who here used to be afraid of the dark? A lot of us. Now, I don't know about you, but it wasn't the dark itself I was afraid of. It's what was in the dark that I couldn't see. That right there, that's what spooked me. Now, don't get me wrong. I knew what my room looked like, but in the dark, it just felt different. My family was the light. They knew I could depend on them, and I knew that too. But I was in the dark. Secretly, I didn't know who I could cry to, and whose shoulder I could complain on without them telling me I was over-exaggerating. Around 4 million children have been adopted since 2024. That means a lot of children's lives have been changed. And I can tell you that I'm not the only child who has or is going to go through some of these emotions. In all, I just wanted to say, check up on your biological children with adopted siblings. See how they're doing. There's a lot you could learn just by listening. I'm going to share a little secret with you all. Writing this wasn't as hard as you think. While others had to do research, I just had to shut my mouth and let my heart do the talking. This was, whether you believe it or not, therapeutic. I got the mic and I got to talk, and all you had to do was listen. Now, some of you might have already known me today, but I bet you know a whole lot more about me now than you did earlier. Now, when writing this and reading it out to my mom, she said I had to mention this part. So here it is. When I was a little girl, we were sitting at our dinner table, and I looked at my dad, and I told him, I'm going to have a brother and a sister. He looked at my mom and said, is there something you would like to tell me? She said, no. So I did kind of put myself in this situation. Thank you.